A woman in Massachusetts is facing involuntary manslaughter charges after she encouraged her boyfriend to commit suicide. Michelle Carter is the woman who's facing these charges, and when you read into the messages that she sent her boyfriend, Conrad Roy, over the course of months, you get a sense of why she's facing these charges, but whether or not she will actually be convicted is still up in the air. Now, just to give you some examples of what she sent him, she was very, very encouraging of him committing suicide. She said that everyone will be sad for a while, but they will get over it and move on. She also tells him, you have to just do it. You have everything you need. There is no way you can fail. Tonight is the night. It's now or never. She went further. You always say you're going to do it, but you never do. I just want to make sure tonight is the real thing. So this guy had reservations about committing suicide. Obviously, he was troubled in some way, but he had his doubts about whether or not he really wanted to go through with it. And every time that he didn't go through with it, she would encourage him more and more. Now, these are text messages that were obtained by the authorities. And later on, it was discovered that she was really concerned that cops would find these text messages and that she'd be screwed as a result of this.
So this is amazing. Look, in the beginning of the story, I read the headline, I go, no way, you can't charge somebody with involuntary manslaughter because they didn't stop somebody's suicide, or maybe tacitly, implicitly encouraged it. And I assumed that she wasn't a monster, that she was like, oh, you're just trying to get attention. If you want to get, you just go ahead and do it already, right? You're not going to do it.
Right.
Right. That's what I assumed, and I was going to be like, no way, no, you can't charge her with. No, you read this. Look, they're going to have a trial, and she's going to present a defense, and she's going to say, oh, I wanted to help him because he was in so much pain. She's going to say all this. But based on the reading of the text and the evidence that we have so far, it sounds like he wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for her.
Yes.
At one point, they're on the phone. She's convinced him. She taught him how to get the carbon monoxide poisoning.
Let me go through all of it, because I have all the details and I want to make sure that we don't miss any part of this story. So the teen went so far as to help Roy research the best method of siphoning carbon monoxide into his truck. Carter told Roy he was making up excuses not to go through with the suicide when discussing the siphoning plan. So he apparently had his reservations, but she kept pushing him. She said things like, but I bet you're going to be like, oh, it didn't work because it didn't tape the tube right, or I didn't tape the tube right, or something like that. I bet you're going to say an excuse like that. You seem to always have an excuse, okay?
An excuse for not killing yourself.
Yeah, so the day that he committed suicide, he actually took his sisters out for ice cream and let them know that he loves them, and then he committed suicide. But prior to that happening, he actually had a conversation with Michelle Carter, and the conversation went like this. Conrad said, I just don't know how to leave them, referring to his sisters. And she says, say you're going to go to the store or something. And he said, I want them to know that I love them. And then she says, they know. That's one thing they definitely know. You're overthinking. I mean, okay, so then the day comes when he commits suicide. He's in the car, okay? He's inhaling the carbon monoxide, and he becomes scared. And he basically tells her, I'm scared. I think I'm going to get out of the car. And she says, no, stay in there. She encourages him to stay, and then he eventually dies.
And she then winds up telling a friend, honestly, I could have stopped it. I was the one on the phone with him, and he got out of the car because the carbon monoxide was working, and he got scared. I fucking told him to get back in. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Okay, just when you think, well, it can't get any worse than that, right? No, afterwards, she pretends to be all concerned, and she's going to do a charity event for him. Oh my God, we should bring awareness to this issue, because she's going to bask in the limelight. And then somebody says on Facebook, oh, you want help with that? She's like, as long as you know that it's my event, don't take credit for my event. My God, what kind of a monster is this? The kid's dead. This is not playing around. He's dead.
So, as difficult as it is to not get emotional in this story, and honestly, this is one of the few stories where I couldn't hold back my emotions. I teared up when I read about the part about his sisters. It's just really difficult to even absorb information like that. But you have to take the emotion out of it and look at the legality of what she does. And if you delve into the legality, you become even more enraged because legal precedent indicates that she hasn't done anything wrong. So we looked into this quite a bit because I wanted to see how this is likely to play out. Now, there was only one case in Minnesota years ago involving a man who encouraged people to commit suicide. He gave them the information necessary for them to commit suicide, and many people did do it, okay? He did get convicted as a result of that. However, the Supreme Court in the state of Minnesota overturned the conviction, all right? The man was Melcher Dingle. He posed as a female nurse online and provided step-by-step instructions on how victims could kill themselves. Again, his convictions were overturned. So that sets a precedent. Also, this case involving Michelle Carter happened in Massachusetts, okay? Under their current laws, Massachusetts has no statute criminalizing assisted suicide, okay? So that could also work in her defense. Knowing all of that, if I were to comment on this just solely based on my emotions, I want her convicted of involuntary manslaughter. She's a terrible person. But it's not about emotions, it's about the facts.
So now, the other terrible part of this is that they took laws like assisted suicide and euthanasia, which we're in favor of, and she's going to twist them to her sick advantage,
yes.
Right? So that's supposed to be when someone is about to die and they're in terrible pain. They have, irreversible cancer, things along those lines. And they say, I just want the pain to stop. I'm going to die anyway. And we'll have moralistic people come in and say, no, you can't assist them at all. No way. Against the law. Why? It's their volition. Shouldn't freedom and liberty indicate that they could do what they want? And they'll say, no, my morality, my religion says you shouldn't help them to make a conscious decision about their life. She's taking it and now saying, this kid, he didn't have any, disease that we know of, that he was about to die. He's a young guy. And she pushes him and pushes him and pushes him, and then goes, what? There's laws against holding me responsible for assisted suicide. You can't get me, right? And we'll see how it plays out in court. Look, we asked you a poll question I'm genuinely curious about again. Should she be tried for involuntary manslaughter? So far, 81% of you saying yes.
Wow.
Okay, 19% saying no. And remember, they're not going for, a higher level of murder charges here. It's just involuntary manslaughter. It's about as low a charge as you can get on an issue like this. And, if I'm on the jury, I got to listen to the facts and I got to listen to the law and then make a decision accordingly. So it's a very tough case in that regard. In terms of the humanity of the case, not very tough at all. I can't believe how indifferent she was to his life.
It's disgusting.
And by the way, they were girlfriend and boyfriend online. They'd only met once or twice in the real world. And so they traded all these messages. And I don't know, did she find it amusing or somehow it was going to help her to have him die?
She might have some sort of mental health issue, right? I forget the name of it, where you want people to feel sorry for you. And I kind of got that sense, like people will feel sorry for you after you suffer some sort of tragedy, whether it's a family member dying or a loved one dying, whatever it is. Because right after he passed away, the first thing that she did was try to set up this charity for him and try to get some positive attention directed in her direction. So I don't know. I don't know what her issue is, but it needs to be evaluated to the fullest extent. If she completely walks free, I'm really uncomfortable with that. I don't think that she necessarily did something criminal based on the laws that are currently on the books right now, but she definitely did something ethically wrong, and I don't know what the consequences of that would be.
Well, it would be super ironic if she does have an ailment, which, we have no idea if that's the case or not, where she wants to gain sympathy, and that's why she did this. And because she has an ailment, we sympathize with her and let her off.
Well,
but that would be supremely ironic.